The first walk. It was early evening. The sun was setting behind the trees in Elmwood Park, casting long shadows on the empty paths. A soft wind rustled the leaves, and everything felt calm, too calm. Maya was walking alone, headphones in her ears, lost in thought. She looked tired, like someone trying to escape a long, exhausting day. Music played softly, and each step felt like therapy. But what she didn't know was that someone had been watching her for days. Between two trees far back stood a man dressed in black, face hidden, completely still, eyes locked on her like a hunter waiting for the perfect moment. Maya paused for a second. She looked over her shoulder. The path behind her was empty. She shook her head and kept walking. Then, behind her, a faint crunch. Footsteps. She turned again. Still nothing. She laughed nervously to herself. "I'm just being paranoid," she mumbled. But then her phone buzzed in her hand. A message flashed across the screen. Unknown number. "Nice pace, but you're slowing down." Her blood froze. She stopped walking. Her eyes darted left and right. Trees, bushes, shadows. Something felt off. Her heart started pounding in her chest. She picked up the pace. Then another message came. "Turn left." Maya stopped again. "Who are you?" she whispered. No answer, just silence. She turned left anyway, slowly, carefully. Her steps quickened. Her breathing got heavier. Then she looked back and saw him. A man just standing there, silent, close, no weapon in his hands, no words, just those terrifying empty eyes watching her every move. She turned and ran. Her footsteps echoed against the path. Every corner she turned, she felt him right behind her. No matter how fast she moved, it felt like he was gaining. Then she stopped, picked up a rock, spun around. "Who the hell are you?" she screamed. The man didn't speak. He didn't move. He just smiled, calmly. Then, in one sudden step, he moved forward. She threw the rock, missed, and ran for her life. The park grew darker, the wind colder. But the hunter, he was just getting started. Nowhere feels safe. Maya didn't stop running until she burst out of the park and into a nearby street. Her chest was burning, her throat dry. She looked back. No one. But the silence was worse than footsteps. She pulled out her phone and tried to call the police, but her hands were shaking so badly she could barely type. The call connected. "Yes, I think someone's following me. I'm near Elmwood Park. Please." The voice on the other end tried to calm her. "Stay where you are. Officers are on the way." She hung up and looked around. The streets were nearly empty. One car drove past without slowing down. Maya stepped into the nearest cafe. It was half closed, lights dimmed, a worker mopping the floor. She asked to sit for a minute. They nodded. She sat by the window, trying to calm her breath. Her phone buzzed again. Another message. "Calling the police won't help. They'll arrive in time to find your body." Her eyes widened. She looked around the cafe. There were only two people inside. The worker. A man sitting at the back, reading a newspaper. Was it him? She stood up, backed toward the exit. The man lowered the paper. Their eyes met. It wasn't the same man from the park. But he smiled. A slow, knowing smile. Maya rushed out of the cafe and into the night. She reached her apartment and locked the door behind her, double-locked it, closed every curtain, turned on every light. But the fear followed her inside. She checked the messages again. They were gone, completely erased. No trace, no number, nothing. She checked the cameras in the building. Everything looked normal. No strange movement. Until she checked the footage from the lobby. At 4:23 p.m., just 2 hours earlier, a man in black had entered the building, stood near the elevator, looked directly into the camera, and smiled, then walked away. That meant he knew where she lived. She dropped her phone. Outside, a car passed by slowly. Its headlights swept across her window like a searchlight. Then another message appeared. You looked beautiful today, especially when you ran. Maya's scream was muffled by the walls, but someone was listening. The profile morning came, but sleep never did. Maya sat on her couch, clutching a kitchen knife. The lights were still on. Her phone was silent, but she didn't trust it anymore. Not after the messages disappeared on their own. She needed help, real help, not just the police. She searched online for someone who could understand stalkers, killers, patterns. Her trembling fingers landed on a name. Dr. Lena Vaughn, criminal psychologist, specializes in behavioral profiling. Maya called her immediately. After hearing Maya's voice and what had happened, Lena agreed to meet. 2 hours later, they sat across from each other in a quiet university office. Maya told her everything: the park, the messages, the man in black, the video footage, the final message. You looked beautiful today, especially when you ran. Lena didn't blink, she just listened. Then she spoke softly. He's not just stalking you, he's testing you, studying how you react to fear, what you do when you're watched. Why me? Maya whispered. Lena leaned forward. He's picking targets who walk alone, isolated, predictable routes. He's done this before. Maya's voice broke. So, I'm going to die? No, Lena said firmly, because now he knows you're aware. That changes the game. You're no longer a walking target. You're a challenge. Maya looked down. Her phone vibrated. New message. She's good, but not good enough. Lena looked at the screen, her eyes narrowing. How does he know we're together? Maya asked, voice shaking. Lena stood up and closed the blinds. Because he's still watching. Maya stood too, panicking. What do we do? Lena thought for a moment, then calm and cold she said, we bait him. We flip the game. Maya stared at her. You want me to walk again? She asked. Yes, Lena said, but this time, we'll be the ones watching. The trap night fell fast. Maya stood at the edge of the same park, Elmwood. Same hoodie, same routine. Her heart pounded like a war drum in her chest. But this time, she wasn't alone. Lena and 2 private security agents sat in an unmarked van nearby, watching Maya through hidden cameras sewn into her jacket. Don't break your pace, Lena said through an earpiece, and don't look back. Maya swallowed hard. What if he doesn't show? Lena's voice was calm. He'll show. He's addicted to control. The moment we took that away, he got angry. Maya started walking. The path was quiet. Leaves whispered across the ground. Her shoes crunched softly as she moved forward. Time passed. 10 minutes. Then 15. Nothing. Then her phone buzzed. You brought friends. I brought a surprise. Maya froze. Lena's voice came in instantly. Keep walking. Another buzz. Don't look left, don't scream. But Maya did look, and her eyes widened in horror. Sitting on the bench just 10 feet away was a woman. Gagged, hands tied, her eyes wide and terrified. A note was taped to her chest. Maya stopped. The camera caught everything. Lena yelled in her earpiece. Maya, move! Get out of there! Now! Maya turned to run. But before she could take 3 steps, the bench exploded in a flash of smoke and sparks. No fire, just a burst to cause panic. Maya fell to the ground. The security team rushed in. The woman on the bench was just a mannequin. A realistic one. Fake blood, plastic skin. A cruel trick. Another message came. That was fun. Let's raise the bar. Lena stared at the text in disbelief. Maya was shaking. He knew everything, the cameras, the team, the plan. Lena said nothing. Then her phone buzzed too. One message from an anonymous number. Your turn, doctor. The author of Fear. The next morning, Lena woke up to silence. No emails, no calls, no alerts, just stillness. She turned on the TV. Static. Her phone screen wouldn't light up. That's when she noticed her office door was already slightly open. She froze. Her heart skipped. She lived alone. Cautiously, she approached it, picking up the small revolver she kept in her drawer. The room was empty, but something was different. On her desk sat a folder, black, worn, unmarked. She opened it slowly. Inside were photos of her eating, driving, sleeping for weeks. And not just her, Maya, the security team. Even Lena's ex-husband, who lived in another state. The final page was a single line, printed in clean serif font. You've studied the minds of killers your whole life. But tell me, doctor, when you feel like the victim, do you still think like a scientist? She stepped back, hands trembling. Suddenly, her phone lit up. One message. You call it profiling, I call it storytelling, and my story is just getting interesting. Maya called at the same moment. Voice panicked. Lena, someone left something at my door. Lena grabbed her coat. Don't touch it, I'm coming. She arrived at Maya's apartment 50 minutes later. Police had already been called. On Maya's doorstep was a box. Inside, a single item, a red scarf, blood-stained, wrapped around a flash drive. They plugged it into a laptop. It auto-played a video. Grainy, shaky, footage of a girl walking down a street, alone. The same pattern. But the twist? This wasn't Maya. This wasn't current. The timestamp said October 14, 2019. And at the end of the video, the girl turned a corner, screamed, cut to black. Then a message. This is not my first draft, but it will be my final masterpiece. Maya turned pale. He's been doing this for years. Lena sat back slowly, realization hitting her. No, she whispered. He's not just hunting victims. She looked at the wall, at the pattern of dates, names, faces. He's hunting stories. The final chapter. 3 days later, a warehouse on the edge of the city. No cameras, no phones, just silence. Lena and Maya stood inside, surrounded by shadows and steel beams. The building had been empty for years, but it held the one thing they needed. A single entrance. One way in, one way out. He'll come, Lena said. He always finishes his stories. Maya nodded, still shaken, but ready. What if he doesn't? Lena looked out into the darkness. Then we lose. Suddenly a voice echoed through the warehouse. Calm, confident. You think this is the end? The killer said. This is just the last chapter. A figure stepped into view. Black hoodie, pale face, smiling. He clapped slowly. Well done, doctor. You made it further than the rest. Maya pulled out her phone. A decoy. She pretended to send a signal. He raised his hands. Don't bother. I jammed all signals 5 minutes ago. Lena stepped forward, gun in hand. I've studied your patterns. You never attack when you're uncertain. You only move when you know you're in control. But right now, you're surrounded. Police are waiting outside. He smiled wider. Oh, Lena, he said softly. You think you've written the ending? But this isn't your story. Then he pulled something from his pocket. A small remote. No, Lena shouted. He pressed the button. Boom. The far wall of the warehouse exploded inward. Smoke, fire, screams. Lena tackled Maya to the floor. When the smoke cleared, the man was gone. Vanished. 3 hours later, outside the warehouse, ambulances and police swarmed the scene. Lena sat in the back of an ambulance, bruised and silent. An officer approached. We scanned the footage, he said. That man, he doesn't show up on any of our cameras. It's like he was never here. But he was, Lena whispered. He always is. He handed her something wrapped in plastic, a note, found inside her coat pocket. She unfolded it with shaking hands. It read, "Every story needs a survivor. But survivors don't sleep easy. I'll be watching your epilogue."